So last class, I have given you homework to get an idea about CSR, corporate social responsibility and corporate governance. Have you all Googled it? Yes. So you all understood from reading what is corporate. Yes, Joseph Stalin told that corporate governance is a structure of rules, and shareholder participates in the profit of enterprise without taking the responsibility of the operations. Corporate governance. Yes, good. I'm happy that you all did your homework on this. Okay, let's get into class. Okay. From we are going to start with strategic business unit. This is all related to Henry Richberg modes of decision, strategic decision making. Okay, he has given all the following points related to how you can make a strategic decision clear and better. So you all know what is strategic business unit. We have seen 3 levels of strategy. Have you all remember that? Corporate level strategy, business level strategy, and functional level strategy. And I said under corporate or conglomerate, you have different business units. So different business units, business unit 1, business unit 2, business unit 3, all these business units combine to form a corporate or conglomerate. So that is business unit. So each business unit will have functional areas, each functional areas. Now, the autonomous division or organization unit, a single unit which is small enough to be flexible and large, have independent missions and objectives that allow the owning conglomerate to respond quickly to the changing economic or market situations. Let's take an example of PNG. PNG products, okay. So the PNG, you all should go and see what is PNG. Okay, PNG is a conglomerate unit. It will have each business unit. Okay, let's when you say PNG, PNG products like Tide. You all know Tide, right? Tide, Ariel. Are you all hearing? Respond to my question. Yes. Okay. So Tide, Ariel, these are all related to PNG products. PNG is a conglomerate. Okay. Now Ariel, Tide, these are all related to business unit. So Tide will have a Tide soap powder. Tide will have separate mission and objectives, which allow the conglomerate unit called PNG to achieve their sorry to respond quickly to the changing economic and market situations. Now you would have understood what is conglomerate and what is business unit. Okay. Next, corporate governance. So you all said it is a rules governing. What you all said is right. Corporate governance is a mechanism established to allow different parties to contribute capital, expertise, and labor for the mutual benefit. The investors or shareholder participates. Okay, you have 3 different groups: board of directors, management, and shareholders. So as you all told yesterday, shareholders are the owners of the company. So there are like 1 lakh people would be the owners of your corporate private limited. So in that case, the 1 lakh people cannot run the business. Am I right? When you have 1 lakh owners, that is 1 lakh shareholders, or 50,000 or 30,000 shareholders are there for a company or for a single company. So, the owners will be responsible. In the family business, the owner will be responsible for all the operations. Am I right? But here, when you have 20,000 to 30,000 owners, they cannot take decisions. So the shareholders will appoint the board of directors. Okay, here the board of directors will take decisions, will formulate strategies so that the operations of the business will run. So have you all understood who is board of directors now? Board of directors is a separate group, shareholders is a separate group, and management. The CEOs, you all know who is CEO? What is the full form of CEO? Chief Executive Officer. Thank you, Anita and Puviyarasan. Good. So they are all belong to management groups. So these the board of the board of directors. There are many board of directors. It will be like 11 or 8. These board of directors will appoint the management like CEO, CFO, and other CMO, marketing officers, and other each officers will be there. So these management will take part, operations of the business, the day-to-day activities, how how the strategy can be completed. Those strategy implementation part will be carried out by CEO and COO and CFO. Okay, now there are three groups. I've explained these three groups. The corporate governance refers to the relationship among these three groups in determining the direction and performance of the corporations. So the corporate governance, as you all said, laid out the rules and procedures so that these relationship between the three groups, the major groups of the business, will determine the direction and performance of the business. So earlier in a family business, only one person will take part all the three functions. Let's take the restaurant nearby your place. The owner will be there every day. He will go and open the shop, and he will do all the operations and everything. There is a single owner, or it will be a partnership. Two members will be there, where one member is active partner and another would not be a non-active partner. So here, no one or two members or five members. If there are only five members, it is easy for them, to take part the operations of the business. But when you have 20 to 30,000, when you have retail investors, when you have institutional investors who is invested in your company, you need board of directors who will evaluate your performance at the end of the year, and also who take major decisions, and also CEO will be there. These three groups will be there. Now, corporate governance is a mechanism established to allow different parties to that you told. They management runs the company without being personally responsible for providing the funds. So the representatives of the shareholders, directors have both the functionality, both the authority and responsibility to establish basic corporate policies and to ensure they are followed. So the shareholders cannot establish policies here. What happened? The directors, the board of directors will take the authority. They have the authority on behalf of shareholders and responsibility to devise policies. That is to to create policies and ensure that it is being followed by all the members of the firm. So the board of directors has therefore an obligation to approve all the decisions that might affect the long run performance of the corporation. If there are any major decisions that is to be taken, the board of directors will have a meeting. Based on the meetings information, they will know the chairman of the board of directors will approve the decisions on behalf of the shareholders. Here, the shareholders will not take part in making a decisions, but board of directors will be responsible for taking a decisions. Okay, this is corporate governance. Now, the responsibilities of the board. So the following are the responsibilities of board: setting corporate strategy, overall directions. They provide directions to the company and they set mission and vision. The succession. The succession is the hiring and firing the CEO and top management. They are responsible for, hiring is, you all know hiring and firing, right? So hire is you are appointing the person, you are recruiting an employee. So that is hire. You are giving employment. Firing is that you are dismissing the person. That is, no, you said you removed the job. That is firing. So the board of directors will hire CEO or they hire CFO for the business. The CEO will be responsible for operations. The succession planning will be held by the board of directors, controlling, monitoring, and supervising the top management. They control the supervise and monitor and supervise their activities, and reviewing and approving the use of resources. So you have human resources and raw materials resources and others, right? They approve and review the how the resources are being used. Then they caring for the stockholders interest. So stockholders here, the shareholders. So based on the shareholders interest, they take part activities. So this is the role of board of directors. Okay, the role of board in strategic management. These are the role of board in overall company. Okay, now this is the role of board in strategic management. That is, no, they monitor the strategies, they evaluate the strategies, and they initiate and determine these strategies. These are the role. Next, it's again the responsibilities of board and management. Okay, the board chair leads the board in keeping with the organization vision, mission, and strategic planning goals. So these, it is actually repeating the same. Okay, now we are seeing the responsibilities of management. So the management will act according to the board of directors direction. Okay, the CEO leads the organization in keeping with the board's direction. The duties of management include making operational decisions, making operational policies, and keeping the board educated and informed. What is all happening with related to operations, that is being communicated to board of directors, and bringing well documented recommendations and informations to the board. So let's say you have, under CEO, you will have functional departments like marketing department, operational department, and finance department, and research and development department. These are all functional department. You all remember that, right? So each department might have information and recommendation which is to be adopted, and they need consent from the board of directors. So the CEO will take all this information from research and development functional department to the board of directors and get approval. Okay, now we are moving to the corporate social responsibility. So have you all understood corporate governance and the responsibility of board of directors? I wish to get your response. Please respond. Yes. Thank you, Puvia, Listen, Anthony, Raj. Okay. Lokesh, Anita. Good. Now I'm moving to corporate social responsibility. Manivannan, good. Corporate social responsibility, which is shortly called as CSR. So it is an important activity for business. So really, CSR is to be adopted, should be adopted by many business firms nowadays. It is a rule actually from the government that some CSR activity should be done by the corporates. What is social responsibility? That is, acting according to the social benefits and people benefits. That is social responsibility. So as globalization increases, globalization means, so PNG or other Hindustan Unilever, HUL, these are all other country companies, but they are acting here. So the globalization increases. The Indian company have started manufacturing in China, Mexico, and other countries. We have to act socially responsible for the people of other country as well. When you are allowing other country companies into your home country, you actually expect to act responsibility, to take act responsible for their actions. Like Pepsi, Coca-Cola company, started a business in Tirunelveli, and they protested for water. Because of water is draining in the path, so we will not allow the company to take start function here. These are all some activities should be avoided. This is the kind of being explained in corporate social responsibility. So in various, in other countries and other corporations also understood the benefits of providing CSR programs in their various locations. The term is often used interchangeably for other terms such as corporate. It is also used otherwise called corporate citizenship, and it is linked to the concept of triple bottom line. So triple bottom line deals with three important points, that is people, planet, and profits. So the people are ours, okay. Planet is the environmental resources, environment. Profits, it's for money, okay. So the company should act accordingly to these three important aspects. They should consider these three important points while functioning in the environment, that is by functioning in the country, which is used as a framework for measuring the organization performance against economical, social, and environmental parameters. So how you match people, planet, profits to economic, social, and environmental parameters. So profit is which parameter? Social, environmental, and economic. So you have to match this. Profit is related to which parameter? People is related to which parameter? Planet is related to which parameter? Now respond. You can unmute and talk, or you can use the chat box. If I get the answer from the same people who is responding no, at the end of the session, I'll point someone and ask question. Okay. If you don't know the answer, please post no. I'll tell you. Okay. People is social parameter. Okay. Planet is the whole world. So it is related to environmental. Okay. Profit is economic. Economics generally related to the money matters. Okay. So now you are understood. Yes, I have told you the answer. Profit is economic. Okay. People is social. And the planet is environmental parameter. Okay, so when you start a business in some other country, the government expect to act according to this economic, social benefits, and environmental benefits. All these three benefits should be considered while acting. Okay. So it is about building a sustainable business which need healthy economies, healthy markets, and healthy communities. So the key drivers of CSR is these are the key drivers: enlightened self-interest, creating a synergy of ethics, a cohesive is combined society, and a sustainable global economy. So the self-interest should be based on these three parameters, and you have to act according to the benefits of surrounding people, and a good society and a sustainable global economy. What is mean by sustainable? Okay, here comes sustainability. Sustainability is now everyone has started depleting water, right? So you all know in some parts of the places water scarcity occurs. Why does it occur? Sometimes it's due to the natural thing, because there the water facility, water content would have been less. But the places like which is always been with water, which is full of water, but still scarcity occurs. Why? Is it due to artificial reasons, like due to man kind, or due to natural thing? The water scarcity occurs, right? Is it due to no, due to man human activities? I asked you a question. Man things, yes, human behavior. Due to human behavior only, water scarcity occurs. Now, when you act accordingly, this scarcity would have been avoided, right? So sustainability is you are considering your present needs, but you should not compromise the future needs as well. So taking into consideration that future needs, today's present needs and future needs, you are acting accordingly. Sustainability is like, okay, now I need, so I'm using everything. That is not the sustainability. Sustainability is you are creating a wealth for future generation as well. That is sustainability. So have you all understood what is sustainability? Okay, I'm going to read the points. Meeting present needs without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their needs. So we are now, when you use all the water present in our locality, what will happen in 2 years or in 5 years? The future generations will not be able to use the water. So you should not compromise that. When you think that there needs to be some activity done, so that you will not compromise the future needs. That is sustainability. So the following are the more specific definitions of sustainability. So sustainable means using methods, you use any methods or systems or materials that will not deplete resources, that will not deplete our natural resources, or will not harm the natural cycles. That is sustainable. So, and you use identify a concept or attitude in development that looks at natural land, water, and energy resources as the fundamental aspects of development. You consider that as a fundamental thing, and you integrate all natural systems with the human patterns and celebrates continuity. There should be continuity in that activity, and uniqueness and placemaking. So in combining all this, sustainable development are those which fulfill present needs and also future needs, while you use and but not harming the renewable resources. And in part of CSR, you do social investment. Like social investment is contributing to physical infrastructure. Infrastructure is related to building roads, good roads, railways, port. These are all related to infrastructure, like schools, which alleviates poverty. That is social investment. And as part of CSR, everyone should be transparent and trust, because the shareholders or the owners of the firm, they are outsiders, right? They are not taking part of they are not taking part in the operational activities of the business, but they only provided you the money, right? So the transparency and trust being expected by the shareholders. So the company, the firm, the corporate should be transparent and report all the activities and accountable to the shareholders, and also their performance on social and environmental arenas. I am taking some more time. Increased public expectations of business globally economic companies are expected to do more. Okay, so the when other companies are coming here, it is mainly to provide jobs and contribute the economy to taxes and employment. Next, corporate social responsibility. It is the same like CSR is it is it tells you about the benefits. Okay, it is represented by the contributions undertaken by the, what are the contributions which is being given by the company to the society through its core business activity, social investment, and philanthropic programs, and its engagement in public policy. So these are the activities they can invest, the companies can invest, so that the CSR programs is being appreciated and it is being recommended. In recent years, CSR has become a fundamental business practice and gained much attention from chief executives, chairman, and board of directors. So all they say, no, you should go CSR, perform CSR activities. They understand that the CSR program is an essential element in achieving good business practices and effective leadership. When the CSR program has been adopted, they say that good business practices and leadership can be achieved. So companies have determined that CSR has an impact on economic, social, and environmental landscape that directly affects the relationship with stakeholders. So let's say it as part of CSR, you are adopting a village. Okay, let's say you are operating in some village. You see that surrounding village areas, people do not have proper toilet facilities or proper schools, or they are facing issues with related to water. When you do certain things which will resolve their issues, and it is for the social welfare of them, it becomes a social corporate social responsibility activities. In that case, what will happen, that people the good image of the company gets increased among the people presented there. Am I right? Are you all following me? Yes. Okay. So based on the good things that is being done by the companies to the society, what will happen? The society people will again invest. Let's say, let's take Tide. Okay. So let's take an example of Tide. Tide is a company which is being located in that village. What will happen as part of the CSR activity? They adapted the people from the village, and they pay school fees or college fees for them. What will happen? They actually, instead of buying other competitive soap powder like Surf Excel, they'll go and buy Tide. Am I right? Because they are doing good things to the society, that will act as a benefit to the business as well. Now we all understood what is CSR and how it is beneficial to the business in terms of business point of view, and also how it is beneficial to society and environment. And the last point is, see, there is a recent survey has been conducted by EY company, Ernst & Young, and they say that by carrying out CSR activity, it actually deliver real business benefits, and 11% of the companies have made significant progress in implementing the strategy in their organizations. So what happened based on the survey, and 11% of the companies, they started adopting CSR activity into their business so that they get benefits. Okay, now we have come to the end of the session. So I am going to give you some works for Friday. So you have to come out the reasons why infrastructure is important in the business, or infrastructure, why infrastructure is important to economy. And that is your homework. Okay, thank you.